Let's get started if we...
Yeah.
Hey. Thank you. We can do it. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he did! Wow, we're wimps. Wow!
Don't do this at home. Don't do this at home.
God!
That ginger ale is crazy.
Julie Walters?
What?
Did you meet your...
God's sake. What? Leave me alone. What do you want to know?
Well, didn't you meet you met your husband in a club, didn't
Mind
you?
your own business.
When I turned 40, I was offered 3, which is in 1 year.
Oh.
And it was sending me a signal, I felt, about Hollywood and how they felt about people turning 40. You know? So I felt bad, and and it made me sort of... I had my backup, you know, and so, no, I didn't want to play them.
So a lot's changed in the last 5 years for you.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
Mark.
You're right. Nice smell.
I was looking for an excuse the whole night, yeah.
That was so smooth, Mark Ruffalo. Could you do the line from Forrest Gump where he suddenly discovers how much he likes running?
I would happy to do it, but you must show the lady with the cue card, because otherwise people will think that I've actually memorized this. Show the lady with the cue card, cut over to her, just show it. See
There she is, she's there.
Now, I will in fact do it. Okay, so it goes...
This is for you, Mo. This is
for you, Mo. Now, you wouldn't believe it, me, if I told you, but I could run like the wind blows. From that day on, if I was going somewhere, I was running good.
Good night, huh? You picked a good night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
What's this? What is this?
I believe, is that your own tequila?
Is it tequila? Then I'm happy.
Is that
Good health. Listen, before we start, I had last year castmates, Bill Murray, Matt Damon, and Hugh Bonneville come on the show.
Yes.
And they left the premiere, I left them drunk. And they got here, and they got drunker. And I've never seen a television show like that in my life.
We never had one like that before. Because they arrived drunk and they got drunker. By the end, it was like, I'm really glad the show's over now.
They were throwing fruit at the audience.
Bill Murray threw a whole pineapple into the audience. It could have ended badly.
That's like a challenge.
No.
What will you throw?
I'm going to throw Brit. We're going to throw Brit at the audience.
So, you're very welcome, all of you. And it's like George Clooney here. I feel like the party can start. The party can start. George Clooney's here.
Yeah. And thank you for using my whole name. Because I usually, you know, I like George Clooney.
We all like George Clooney.
I have a new couple of nephews who are like 7 years old who I've now married into, and they come up to me and they go, "Hey, George Clooney." Not Uncle George. George Clooney.
I'm with them. George seems over-familiar, so I'm just George.
No, anything. Sir George, I don't care. Anything.
Because everyone who works with you, they always say you make work fun. Is that...
I didn't say that.
You didn't
no,
say
no,
that.
I didn't say that.
I did not.
Yes, you did. You said people... Actually, it sounds kind of annoying. You said people whistled on their way to work when George was on set.
Well, I whistled. Happily so. Yeah, no, he does. He's the man that... No, come on. You are.
Let me just say, we had a lot of doctor talk between us.
We did.
There was a lot of...
I didn't understand any of it, but we did have it.
I was surprised you didn't remember. You didn't remember any of it.
Really?
None of it.
No. He remembers whole reams of stuff, which from considerably longer ago, and I cannot remember any of it. No. I can remember it 10 minutes after I've said it.
So the gobbledygook about half a statin of blah, 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 you know all that.
What was that really long word that you would say?
Supraventricular tachyarrhythmia.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, I'll tell you this.
So good.
When we shot that scene, I did not get that word right. But I've never gotten it wrong since then. It was a horrifying experience. But I think that... how long did you do the show?
8 years.
8 years? Mm-hmm. And you don't remember any of it?
Nope. I tell you, the one thing I have carried over from then is when I do play another role now and a director says action, I start limping. I'm just like a sort of a dog who's had electrodes attached to him. I just start start living.
Default.
Did you ever switch canes just to
throw people?
Just throw people off?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I did. I switched games, I switched limps. Nobody noticed.
No, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
And, Britt, if you had to choose, I mean, I don't wish you ill, but if something bad did happen to you, if you were feeling a bit poorly...
make her choose.
Between the doctors?
Yeah. Who would you go to? Would you go to Dr. House there?
Well, it depends on the illness, because you were great with, like, specialty issues, right? You would always find, you would figure out
Yeah,
the
it was
problem.
pigeon poo from Africa or something, always with him, yeah.
I don't remember. If you say so.
You were on a show called How.
You know this. No, I think because you would always look, you would look past the obvious choice, the obvious diagnosis. So I don't know. He may have a one-up on you.
Well, he does, because I was a pediatrician, so you're too old now.
Yeah, you're right.
We looked at pictures before the show, and we found this picture.
Oh, you found my pinky? Oh, don't show it.
No, this is.
No, it's
we
not
have
nice.
to see this. This
It's
is
not
amazing.
nice. It's not nice.
It looks like Meryl Streep has just gone. Tell me I did a back accent. She's just like, look at that. She's like, what did you do?
I had it rebuilt. I had injured it so many times playing football, American
It's
football.
that
It's this
one.
one,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fine now. But it's like a gummy bear in there, like a little piece of rubber candy something.
So what was that thing?
I went up for a pass playing American football and dislocated it. And it's happened so many times over the years that if I just open my hand like that, it would pop that far. Oh,
But do people, like in films, do they have to like shoot around it?
No, I'm constantly. You can probably see me in other films just going, yeah. That way. And I was always fixing it. When my kids were young, they would ask me, "Daddy, could you show my friends the magic finger?" Doesn't sound right, does it? Wait a minute. No, you went there. I didn't go there. You went there. No, I didn't.
If you were British, you'd be like Sir Robert De Niro by now.
You can call me Bob.
Really? Bob.
That's it.
I did not see you drinking that drink.
Well, now's not the time. After.
Oh, were you not drinking it?
Yeah, I
Oh, I
wasn't drinking
see. But you asked for it, is my point.
No, they asked for it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't expect that.
Do you want something else?
No, I'm good. That's great.
What is it?
It's a cucumber martini, Hendrix.
Did you expect it to look like that?
No.
That doesn't look like a cucumber martini to me. That just looks like a gin and tonic with some cucumber in
You're
it.
probably right. Yeah.
We don't want to make anyone cry, but there are sad days in the publishing world in Australia. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm afraid Dolly magazine has shut its doors, Nicole. Dolly magazine is no more. And Dolly magazine was very important to you when you were starting out, wasn't it? Yeah.
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 I got on the cover of Dolly magazine.
Here we go.
Oh,
there you are on the
no.
cover of the magazine. Yeah. Looking stunning. They've got a giant
Are you
Michael
being
Jackson.
facetious?
No, you look fabulous.
I dyed my hair red. I was only like 14.
But is your...
It wasn't red like that. Everyone always thinks it was that red, and it
Yes.
wasn't. No, they dyed it red.
Inside, though, some fabulous high fashion shots of you.
Oh, God.
No, this is beautiful. This just it gives you an idea of the quality of fashion in Dolly magazine. That is a lovely... It's a lovely shiny jacket, and I have to say, these rope seams, I'm not sure they ever caught on, the rope seam. I've never seen them before in my life. But this next picture, this is, you can tell.
God, you're brutal.
So, no, there's only one more. So,
I honestly wish my hair was like that now. It's so dreadful. Because I have to say, anyone that has curly hair that's young, keep your curly hair, don't straighten it, because after a while, you don't get your curls back.
Really?
So, no, they kind of become just frizz mass. I mean, that is frizz mass, but I kind of like that. But, yeah, it's gone. So I'm like an old woman now where I say, don't dye your hair and don't straighten your curls.
I like that idea. You know, with photographers in movies, when they're doing, photo shoot, and they're always like, oh, look sexy, or give me something, give me this, or, try this,
Yeah.
What had the photographer said
Oh, you're so
before this picture?
Why aren't you doing this to anybody else?
this the sort of thing you're after?
I think the photographer just said, "Can I see your pants?"
I thought you were going to say something rude then.
No. God, no. We'll take it away. We'll take it away. There you go. Downton comes along. Is that one of those things where you thought you were famous till you were in Downton?
No, I didn't think that at all. It's only since Downton that people seem to know, you know, who stopped me and asked me. But it's only since Downton, and that's television for you.
Yes, it's common.
It's television. But funnily enough, I was in Waitrose in Storrington, my favourite, and a little boy was at the checkout with his mother, and he kept looking at me. And I thought, what am I going to do about it? And he kept looking at me and looking at me. And I said, can I help you? And he said, it's all right, it'll come to me in a minute. I thought it was so sweet. So lovely. It'll come to me. Sweet.
But the people coming up to you now, like, because apparently Americans are very, well, you know, they're not shy Americans.
No, well, no.
No.
But I don't go anywhere, really, where they can get at me.
Talking of hit movies, Shawshank Redemption, obviously, you know,
great movie.
one of your most... Yes, everyone loves that movie. And if that's one of those movies, anyone puts their, you know, best films of all time list together, it's always on.
It's always on there.
It's always on there. And yet, that film has never been a
tanked
hit.
at the box office. And the reason for that is, of course, is that the only real marketing movies get, I think, is word of mouth. You can promote it all you want, but if the first few audiences go there and come back and can't say, I really saw this great film, then you're not going to go very far. So people went to see the Shawshank Redemption, and then they came back, oh, man, I saw this really terrific movie. It's called the Shank Sham. Shim Shock. One lady saw me in the elevator one time. She said, oh, I saw you in the Hudsucker Reduction. So if you can't get word across, then it just doesn't do well.
Yeah,
you know, you can't say it.
That's why Alfie did well.
Boom, we got it. And was that the film that turned you into sort of Mr. Narration?
Yeah, that was it.
Because it's so special, that narration. And now, we have got a little kind of Shawshank mashup. So would you mind lending your voice to it? I go on.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I must admit I didn't think much of Graham Norton first time I laid eyes on him. Looked like a stiff breeze could blow him over. That was my first impression of the man. I could see why some people took him for annoying. He had a walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. And boy, did he drink. He drank like a man without a care or worry in the world. I hope to finish this talk show one day. I hope Michael stops talking for just 1 second. I hope people stop asking me to do stupid voiceovers like this. I hope.
Oh, very good. Judy, do you still go clubbing? Do you still cut a rug?
Do you know, I've never, ever been to a club in my life. What a terrible... Yes,
Judy,
quite.
Judi Dench.
Very sorry for me.
You lie like a rug.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
You've never been to a nightclub?
Yes, you have.
Where?
I bumped into you in heaven.
Oh. Oh, yes, Absolutely true.
Fag hag.
They took us in. They took us in through the back door.
Wouldn't they?
Story of her life.
That is the only time.
Is that really the only time?
Yes.
Did you not have a nice night? You look like you were having fun.
Yes, I think we did.
I'm gay and I've never been to heaven. I'm never getting there either, but
Why, that's astonishing. Why were you there, for God's sake?
That's a good question, too.
I know the answer to that as well.
What was the question? What was it?
You were there to see Cher.
What?
You were there to see Cher, the singer Cher.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Here's a camera, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So if I'm naturally talking to you, my two eyes are on you here, and we're talking. In a camera, I move over to there, and my other eye is in the camera, but I'm looking at you.
Ooh.
That's
Very
the
good.
trick.
Wow.
And you don't blink unless you know you've got something in your eye.
Yeah. I don't have to blink at all.
Marlene Dietrich told me that. Marlene Dietrich told me that, yeah. I was at a birthday party for Liza Minnelli, and her godmother was Marlene Dietrich. And then she saw me, and I was just sort of famous as Alfie or something, you know, and she knew who I was. And she said to me, she said, "You're supposed to be a movie star. Why are you dressed so scruffily?" And she started giving me a bollocking about dressing. And I thought, this is Marlene Dietrich, you know. And there was a buffet, and she said, "There's a buffet, let's have dinner." So I said, "Oh, OK, all right, OK." I said, "Come on then, we'll go and choose." She said, "No, you choose." I said, "What do you want?" She said, "Whatever you have, I'll have it." And then I sat down, and she said, "And another thing, you're using the wrong eyes." And then she told me that story. It's amazing. And then someone else said, "Never blink." People don't like that when you blink, no.
Never what? Keep them
Unless
open
there
or-
is a reason.
There's a reason.
Other
If
than
you've got-
having something, you can make comments.
Yeah.
with-
I've talked to you without
blink,
blinking
you
the
know.
entire time.
There is an odd link on this couch between the Fabelmans and Brendan Fraser. Do you know what it is? You do, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do.
We hope it's not us, yeah.
It is, of course...
Crystal.
Crystal the monkey. Crystal the monkey, her first job was George the Jungle.
Jungle.
It was that bitch. She had a boyfriend called Mr. Binks, who I normally work with. Agent and all that.
I love
Mr.
Crystal.
Binks would throw a fit and disappear into the rafters if he didn't get the take that he wanted. Because Mr. Binks was a boy monkey.
Oh, okay.
He had to wear a boy bikini. And he would get frustrated occasionally and rip it off, disappear into the ceiling. This is late night television, right?
Yes, it is.
Start jacking it.
Oh, yeah, oh, okay.
He's out there throwing it, and the trainer would come out and go, "Mr. Binks! You stop that right now!" Mr. Binks couldn't give a flying. He was just like, "Oh."
I'm so sorry. He's turned. He's such a good actor now, and now he's channeling Mr. Binks. Is it you can still say it backwards? Supercalifragilistic.
Yes.
I can't say
Do you want to hear
forward.
it?
If you can.
If I can. What do you mean, if I can? said Mary Poppins, snippily. Dosha Sally expiastic fragicali rupus.
Helen, I read somewhere you talked about your least favourite kisser was, but I won't ask about that. But who was your best?
Please don't go there. The best kisser? Ooh, gosh, what a difficult question. You mean stage kiss? You know, theatre. I mean, acting kisser.
It's all kissing.
No, it's not really, because, you know, that's what we, you know, we so often as actors, especially actually more in the theatre, but also in auditions for, you know, film things, you walk in And okay, you have to immediately be very intimate. If it's not actually kissing, it's touching, it's hugging with someone who you've literally met 30 seconds ago. So, you know, we get to be able to do that. Things that other people would just feel so embarrassed and weird. We have to be able to go there very quickly.
And it's really hard. It's really awful, isn't it?
That is very strange, though. When you, it's like you're done kissing somebody. Hi, I'm Paul. It is a very weird.
But Paul, your longest screen kiss was with someone very unlikely, wasn't it?
The most kisses I've had in a movie was with your hero, Jack Nicholson. Of all the,
Jack?
many times.
Can I lick your face?
Please do. He played my father in a film called How Do You Know, and the relationship that we had, that James L. Brooks, the director, wanted to portray was that of a very loving father and son. And no matter what kind of stress we were under or what the conflict in our relationship was, we would always kiss each other, hello and goodbye. And James Brooks likes to film a scene 70 times, if need be, or even if you don't need to, he'll still do it. So we just would always kiss.
On the lips?
Mm-hmm. It was great. But when I first met him, I was going to rehearse with Jack Nicholson, and I was very nervous because I'd never seen the man in person, let alone, you know, had never met him, and I was a huge fan. And when he showed up to the rehearsal, he walked in, he looked at me, grabbed me.
Wait, so you don't get any lipstick on it?
So this is what Jack Nicholson did. I was sitting on the couch. You're me, I'll be Jack Nicholson. And he came in, excuse me, Leslie.
Okay.
He came in, he walked in, he's...
Shakespeare is constantly in your head. How much Shakespeare do you carry around?
As it is all of us, of course. We don't realise, Graham, as you know, we quote Shakespeare all the time, perhaps without knowing it. But, I mean, also, you only have to go to those plays and be in any kind of those situations, being in love or being jealous or being angry or being whatever, and you will find that there is a way of him summing up that is completely sufficient for what your emotion is.
Yeah. What passage is on your mind now, Graham?
Well,
it's like it was just on the tip of your tongue.
How all occasions do inform against me.
You white hole.
Show me the card. Show me the card.
Don't know where that came from. Quick, Judy. If I poke you with a stick, can you just do a bit of Shakespeare for us?
If you what, with a stick? If I poke you with a stick?
Touch you gently. If I touch you gently with a stick, could you do a little bit for us?
Like what?
I don't know, like a bit of a play or a sonnet? Or...
A sonnet?
Sonnet?
I'll do a sonnet.
It's like us having a Shakespeare jukebox in the house.
I'll do it. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. There.
Wow. That is spellbinding. Really, it's gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
I know. Unbelievable.
I mean, there's more dialogue than I had in all my movies altogether.
Could you now do I'll Be Back?
Lots of your fans in the audience, lots of your fans everywhere. But is it always the same? What do people mostly ask you? What do people mostly say to you and shout out to you when they see you?
Oh, they used to yell, Houston, we have a problem. They used to yell that. They yell, run, Forrest, run. That's a biggie. Yeah. But now they just, they just yell, Wilson! They yell a lot of Wilsons over there.
And is it the same? Is it the same everywhere? Like if you're in, you know, I don't know.
Yes, yeah. Evidently, Wilson is a universal language word that they don't bother dubbing into any other language. So it's in Hindi, it's in Japanese, Chinese. Wilson! Pretty much all around the world.
Because I didn't realise till you were coming this time that in Forrest Gump, the famous voice that you use as Forrest, it came from a specific person.
Young Michael Connor Humphreys, who played young Forrest Gump. We were trying to... Bob Zemeckis came to me and said, hey, we got a problem on this. There's Michael right there, Sally and Michael. Aww. He was a very young man. He's now a veteran. He served in Afghanistan. Bob said, okay, we got a problem here. You're going to have to teach this kid how to talk the way you want to talk. And I thought, why don't I just talk the way he talks right now? And so we started hanging out with him. And he was from Mississippi, deep in Mississippi, and he had this hard G at the end of his. If he said it wasn't thinking, it was thinking. It wasn't making, it was making. And I said, what does your father do? My daddy makes grease. That's what he said. And he said, I don't understand. Is grease something you make? Yes. He says, what do you do with grease? Well, grease goes into all different sorts of products. And I said, well, like what products? Oh, grease goes into lipsticks. And I was like, well, this is it. This is it. So somewhere I have cassettes, hours and hours of me just making chit-chat with a very young Michael Connor.
But he doesn't talk like that anymore.
No, he doesn't. It was just he was 7, 8 years old. He was a young man, and that was the vernacular that we spoke in, and it was priceless.
Oh, that's adorable. And of course, a huge success for you. And the year you won that was your second Oscar, wasn't it, Forrest Gump?
Well, yes.
Yes, it was, if I must mention it. But
let me put it this way. It was my last one. How about that?
But it was 1995, and that was a very special year for the man sitting beside you, Peter Capaldi.
This is what I understand.
Because that was the year you won an Oscar.
We were there together.
I won an Oscar, yes, for a little short film. I didn't even know that they gave Oscars for short films. But I'd made this little short film because I was interested in filmmaking. And the next thing I knew, I was being telephoned and being told that you were nominated for an Oscar. I thought, we didn't even have any money. We didn't know how to get over there, all right? But so we managed to cobble together enough money to get over there, and we found ourselves at the Oscars with yourself and lots of other film stars, and they called my name. And I got up on the stage, and I looked down, and it was a huge auditorium like this, and it just looked to me as if it was full of, you know, an Arnold Schwarzenegger lookalike, you know, a Steve Martin lookalike, a Tom Hanks lookalike, except that was the real thing. And it was sort of orgasmic. I don't know how it was for you, but for me it was, it was orgasmic. But I knew
it was my last orgasm.
But I knew as well it wouldn't last, because obviously when you've just made a little short film, it doesn't have quite the same impact on your career. And also I was an actor, so that just confused everyone.
But 3 billion people saw you.
Yeah, but as you know, they take you backstage and they put you on a kind of conveyor belt, and they take you into, like, a hangar, which has got the world's press in it, and they put you on a stage, and all those pictures you see of people holding up their Oscar, they're sort of taken on that stage, and then they say, would anyone like to talk to Peter Capaldi, winner of the short film for 1995? Nobody. I mean, seriously, not one person. Just the tumbleweeds blew through. My life.
Have you been at the Oscars?
You're going to say, have you got an Oscar?
Yeah, have you, David?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'll have to check when I get home.
What is the theme of this show if you don't have one?
I've probably got one.
Because it looks like they're pretty easy to get, David.
Yeah.
Have you been, though? Have you been?
Of course I haven't been. Why would I go to the Oscars?
It's great, isn't it?
It is a great...
It's so fun.
You get all that great free stuff. Chat with Jane Fonda.
And I got to tell you, whatever, even if you just win for a short film, they treat you, you know, so...
Did you get the gift basket with all the goodies
It was actually before I was born that you were there.
But
1995?
we were booked on economy to come back to London, because obviously we'd done this off our own back. Yeah. And I thought, if I turn up at the airport, at Los Angeles airport, and place my Oscar, surely I'll get upgraded. I didn't. And we were put in economy, it was great. We everybody in economy held up the Oscar.
Oh,
it was like a night at the opera. You know, it was like all the people in the Titanic underneath. All the poor people waving an Oscar. It was great.
We've enjoyed the Oscar chat, but let's draw a line.
Have you ever won anything? A bicycling trophy?
I did, yeah.
Did you have perfect attendance in school?
Yes, I did, actually. I did. I got an award for that. So, yes.
He won the hearts of the nation when he swam the channel for charity.
Done that? Done that?
I read somewhere where back then some of the special effects were simpler than maybe they are now. So the Jedi mind control, when you can move objects, explain how they did that.
Well, first of all, George called Star Wars the most expensive, low-budget movie ever made. And what he meant was every penny had to go up on the screen. And the ingenuity was fantastic. So, for instance, when I was hanging upside down in the Wampa Cave, they had fishing wire attached to it. And pulled it out of my hand and then just reversed the film.
Oh,
and so it's very simple, but I mean, the ingenuity is tremendous. Now they CGI it and spend way too much money.
Can we see if we can recreate it in a very low-tech way?
I'm game.
Okay, so if I give you, so if we move that, if I give you an orange, no, you're good. If you give you an orange.
Well, maybe you better move him farther in case my aim is off.
So if you could try to get it just in that general vicinity. So hang on, wait. So we've got to look astonished. This will make sense.
Oh.
We've got to look astonished when Mark is holding the orange, and then slowly back to nothing as the orange lands. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we all set?
I hope so.
Okay. Good. Okay. I think, was that a good one? Was that good? Okay. Okay, let's watch back. Yeah, let's watch back. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Silence of the Lambs. Is it true that did you never speak to Anthony Hopkins?
No, never spoke to him. He was scary. I mean, the first day we had a reading, we had like a little read-through, and I got there early, and then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, everybody was sitting down, we did the read-through of the film, and by the end of it, I never wanted to talk to him again. I was petrified. And so then we did the whole movie. He was always behind the glass partitions, or he was in his cell, and because the scenes were so long, they'd kind of lock him in at the beginning of the day, and he'd go there, and then the next day, he'd be on the other side, and I'd be on this side. And we got to the end of the movie, and it really had never had a conversation.
But you never passed backstage in a corridor?
No, I avoided him. As much as I could. I really avoided him. And then I was eating a tuna fish sandwich. It was the last day, and he came up to me, and I guess he was sidled up to me, and I said, I don't know, I sort of had a tear in my eye. I was like, I was really scared of you. And he said, I was scared of you. I think it's funny, because why would anyone be scared of me? I don't know.
So when you were filming the scene, you know, I'm available.
Would you do that again?
When you were filming the scenes when he was behind the partition, while they were reset cameras, you just sat there?
Well, yeah, because he was screwed in. I couldn't get to him. He was behind the glass.
Did he stare at you?
Sometimes he did. I think you're right. A lot of the scenes actually in Silence of the Lambs are done to the camera, which is this sort of odd technique that Jonathan Demme came up with, this sort of Hitchcockian technique. And most of the time that when he's delivering his lines, he's not looking at me, he's looking directly at the camera, and I'm somewhere behind there where he can't see me.
Here's a weird, and maybe this isn't true, but you, Jim, did train with was it the Navy SEALs? Is that made up nonsense?
No, I did not train with the Navy SEALs. But what that might be referring to is when I did The Grinch, I was, literally the makeup was like being buried alive every day.
How long did it take?
The first day was 8.5 hours. And I went back to my trailer and put my leg through the wall, and I told Ron Howard I couldn't do the movie. And then Brian Grazer came in, and being the fix-it man, and came up with a brilliant idea, which was to hire a gentleman who is trained to teach CIA operatives how to endure torture. And so that's how I got through The Grinch. I would like, it was quite hilarious. He said, eat everything you see. And if you're freaking out and you start to spiral downward, turn the television on, change a pattern, have someone you know come up and smack you in the head, you know, punch yourself in the leg. So it was, or smoke as much as you possibly can. So I was this Grinch sitting. Give me a light. And this giant cigarette holder, so the yak hair wouldn't go on fire. And,
the green yak hair.
Yeah, the green yak hair that turned inward and went, it was horrifying.
Wow.
It was horrifying. I was just like, it's for the kids, it's for the kids, it's for the kids.
How many months was that?
I did the makeup 100 times.
Good noise.
And you know what?
Very good noise.
You know what got me through it? The BB.
You know, as Tom was saying, you know, I think a lot of young actors, they revere you, so they look to you. But the other thing you inspire is impressions, people doing impressions. Now, when people do impressions of you, is it like sort of nails on a chalkboard, or do you kind of enjoy it?
No, I kind of enjoy it, especially if they do it well. So, no, it's great. I love it.
I only ask. No, because any Hiddlestoners watching will know, Tom Hiddleston does impressions. You do impressions of lots of people. So who is in your canon?
It's a expression of admiration, just to be clear. So I do impressions of people that I admire, and I sort of listen to them. The first time I did an impression that anyone was aware of, I was just telling a story about Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen film I was in, and how I'd never read the whole script, and I thought it was set in the 20s. And I turned up and I bumped into Owen Wilson, who didn't look like he was in the 20s at all. And I said to him, so wait, hang on, who are you playing? Because I'm playing F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I know Corey Stoll's playing Ernest Hemingway, and we're all playing figures of history. And he went, oh, no. I'm from now. I go back in time. There's a time machine, and it's kind of cool, and it's kind of woody, and it's kind of awesome.
Very good.
I've been made to do impressions of my fellow Avengers. I think everyone does an impression of Christopher Walken because he's such an easy kind of.
You know, I feel like what this show needs is more cowbell. Depends on what you like me to say. Basically, there's no punctuation. Anything that comes out of my mouth.
I know whole pages of Heat.
You surprise me.
So there's the scene in the middle of the film, which you'll be familiar with. You were there.
The one person you don't need to explain it to.
He remembers.
You're very good in this.
He remembers. Yeah. There's a scene in the middle of the film, which is because Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Sorry about this.
Don't worry.
They're separated, like a great thriller. They're separated for the entire film, and they meet twice, once at the end and once in the middle. And it takes place at a restaurant in LA. It's a great scene. It's one of the great pieces of screen acting you can hope to watch. There it is. There's a picture of it. it's like it's a mutual recognition of each other. Anyway, so there's a bit where they sit and have coffee and have tea and talk about stuff. I'm going on, I apologize. Anyway, so Al Pacino, at one point, Al Pacino says this. He goes, so... we're sitting here like a couple of regular fellas. I mean, you do what you do, I do what I gotta do. If I'm there and I gotta put you away, I won't like it. But if it's between you and some poor bastard whose wife you're gonna turn into a widow, brother, you are going down. And then Michael Mann cuts back to the esteemed gentleman at the end of the sofa. What if you do got me boxed in? I'm not gonna put you down. We've been face to face. Yeah. But I will not hesitate. Not for a second. That's my... This is so meta. I feel like I've gone into a parallel universe where
You're playing all these parts.
Yes, I apologize.
No, that's great.
Yeah, I did an impression of Ken Branagh.
That was my favorite scene in the
Was it
movie.
your favorite scene?
Yeah.
It's a
Still?
great...
Yeah. No, but my favorite scene that was written before, not because of doing it, but my favorite scene written in the film. You know, that
it's a great piece of writing.
Yeah, great.
It feels like it plays in two singles in a way. Like and it's like the most beautiful game of tennis.
Did you each do lots of takes? Did you do lots of takes?
I forget how many takes we did. I don't think we did more than 5 to 8 or 9 at the most. Maybe less.
And you talk about your dreams and you talk about your life. It's so great. It's so great. There's that bit, another bit where you go. You know, he says, Pacino says, so you never wanted a regular type life. and Bob, may I call you Bob?
Yeah.
Bob says, what's that, barbecues and ball games? Yeah.
Now, you, Grant, when you talk about your co-stars, you're quite open about talking about your co-stars. I don't remember, you gave an interview to Elle magazine, and they asked you about your various leading ladies. Do you remember some of the things you said about them?
I think it was regrettable.
Well, Emma Thompson, clever, funny, mad as a chair.
Well, that's true, you know Emma.
Yes, in fairness.
Yeah.
Quite a mad chair. Renée Zellweger, delightful, also far from sane.
Fair. She is genuinely lovely. Yeah. But her emails are 48 pages long.
Wow.
Can't understand a word of them. I'll put them on Twitter.
Sandra Bullock is genius, a German, but too many dogs.
Way too many dogs. Yeah.
Then we get into a run of these. Julianne Moore, brilliant actress, loathes me.
Yes.
Rachel Weisz, clever, beautiful, despises me.
Yes, yes.
Drew Barrymore, made her cry, hates me. That can't be true.
No. Julianne definitely hates me. Rachel Weisz, I think we got on fine. I don't know why I said that. Maybe I was going for a comedy triple. I don't know. I don't know. Who was the third one?
Drew Barrymore.
She made the mistake of giving me notes. How would you take that?
Oh, well,
when you're acting with someone and
I took them very well, didn't I?
Wowza!
So, but they believed you. They believed.
Oh, no.
Because, Meryl, I've heard you speaking about how you are now sort of aware of the effect you have on a cast.
Oh, yeah. I heard you say you were terrified. You weren't really terrified, because the first day I worked with you, I forgot my lines.
I loved that. The highlight of my year. Well, here's an interesting question I meant to ask you all these months and never dared. Are you ever nervous? Were you ever nervous?
You did ask me that.
Did I? What was
yes,
your answer?
Every day you ask me that. I'm so nervous. Aren't you nervous? No, second week, I'm not nervous after this. But when we got up at Carnegie Hall, I was shaking.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
And that was late in the shoot. And when I had to, you know, at the end, when I...
Well, that's not easy.
No, I get nervous. I get nervous on chat shows. Chat shows are hard.
Oh, stop
You're
it.
a genius. I don't know how you do it. You put the most uptight people relaxed, but it is very tough.
But you are all relaxed. You're nice.
I'm really uptight still.
So what do people expect in the show? It's more you more than character. It's more like stand-up.
It's my version. It's about, you know, it's about what happens when you don't realize that you have gotten older. I'll tell you, I went to a Steely Dan concert recently, and I was looking around and I thought, damn, these some old people at this concert. You know, 'cause all these old hippies and stuff. I'm like, God, ooh, do they know how old that people? And then I passed the mirror. And I was like, oh shit! Me too. So it's about waking up and realizing you're not the youngest thing in the room anymore, but all the things that entails, because everything's on the floor, you're picking it up, you're putting it on your head. It's a whole thing. And guys, you know, all the stuff that happens to y'all. You know, so it's a, you know.
What happens to us?
Come to the show, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, but I've heard you talking about there's mysterious hair loss for women.
You mean the balding pudenda?
That's what I mean.
Yes. What? The balding pudenda.
Pudenda?
Yes.
Pudenda. Yeah, got you. What is that?
Well, in one's youth.
Oh, wait, do I want to know what this is?
I don't know. I don't know if you do, but I will just put it this way. There was once a time where... I don't even know if I should tell her.
Tell her. I can't believe you don't know what a pudenda is.
Can you say pubic hair? I can say pubic hair.
Pubic hair?
Yeah.
Yes! You're not a doctor, but we'll still let you.
Once where there was an afro.
Right.
That I could put beads on and braid. Wow. Yeah. There is now Paul Schaefer's head.
Okay.
Okay, empty bald. There we go. But there's more to it, but you have to come. You have
When you were approached into, you weren't so sure, because you were known as kind of the Austrian oak at that stage.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
You weren't sure you wanted to act with the Austrian oak.
What, number one?
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, not at all. Only because I was a snotty New York actress, you know. You move from New York, you're training with, you know, Lee Strasberg, and, you know, you can't go to L.A., it'll ruin you. You can't do L.A. movies, they suck. I mean, New York is tough. So here's Arnold starring in this film, and my people were very excited, and I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna see for myself. But I actually went to set to see him.
You never told me that story.
I know. Told everybody else.
So you were hesitating working with me?
I was.
Oh, you believe that?
But no, but history is a great thing. History is a lovely thing. But it's quite a complicated thing, because you were married to James Cameron. So when the three of you got back together again, was it the same as then, or was it more difficult? Was it less difficult? What was it like?
Like
that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it can be more difficult than in the first movie. It was already very difficult then.
Yeah.
But the first movie, let's not forget, was a small movie. It was a small budget movie. It was kind of an independent movie with $6.5 million. We had to go out and do certain shots in Hollywood without the permits. We didn't even have permits. I remember one time I got out of the car and he says, go across this street here on Sunset and go over to this car and punch the window in the front. I need that shot.
And we didn't even own that car. Is this like a random car?
So I walked across the street, kind of like Terminator-esque, and then boom, 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 and then I looked around, boom, punched through the window, and reached inside, and so...
and then the cops came.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, this is extraordinary. Last weekend, it was its 45th anniversary of The Godfather.
Wow.
45th
That's
anniversary.
right.
And you all gathered, there you are, all gathered together. And, I mean, that must be extraordinary because you were...
That was extraordinary.
Because you were such different people 45 years ago.
I was pretty much the same. But everybody else was different because, they're fantastic actors. And, of course, Francis was so articulate. I wish everybody could have been hear him tell the stories about what he went through to make that movie. And every single choice that he made was just like a genius choice, and he had to fight for everything. I remember he was talking about how they wanted to fire Pacino, and they wanted him out. And Francis had shot the early scenes where we're just young and he's kind of insecure, and they kept hating him, the studio. And so what happened was that Francis, being a genius, he said, okay, I'm going to shoot this one scene, and he shot the scene so that they wouldn't fire Pacino, of where Pacino kills the cop. Do you know where Pacino... Oh, my God. And that scene... Al Pacino's so great in that scene. It's so moving. And, I hadn't seen the movie in 30 years. So I figured, well, I'm going to be there. So I took my computer out, and I watched it on computer. And I have to tell you, the movie is genius. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe it. And it's all that damn Francis Ford.
And you too. Yeah. It's so important in that film.
Oh my God! It was great to be there.
Yeah, you play. It's huge kudos to you.
But it's not interesting to hear about.
Sure it is.
Like,
Yes, it
you
is.
think it's so boring.
I
like the audience more.
They finally came up with with the story. I read it, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. And as I read it, I read about the character that Ryan?
It's Ryan.
Came to play, and I said, and with great enthusiasm, I called up the producers, and I said, this is great, I can't wait to get blah, 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 and what a great part. Why don't we see if we can get Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
And they said, I don't know how to...
Gosling?
Gosling. Brian,
yes. Good. You guys got
Ryan,
that. You got that on tape?
Ryan Gosling. And I said, why don't, this is a great part for Ryan Gosling. And they said, we've been talking to him for months. Now, wait a second. They'd only been talking to me for weeks.
It's like a very mixed look. Sometimes the show looks like everyone's just going to a showbiz funeral. Tonight, it's very mixed.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've never seen you look that smart before in your life.
No, I thought I'd make an effort, because last time I was on here was the month before I was voted GQ's second worst dressed man in the world.
I was worst dressed.
You were
2012 worst dressed.
Yeah. Were you?
Wow. Yeah.
Do you know what they described me? Because they do a little feature and they had a picture of me. They described my look as an update on Bilbo Baggins. He's not a historical figure.
And Ed Sheeran, lovely to have you back in the world, blinking into the lights after your year away. And what are you singing for us tonight?
Castle on the Hill.
Beautiful. It's a hit. It's a hit.
Song about Suffolk.
There aren't enough songs about Suffolk.
I think that's the only one. Yeah.
And Matthew McConaughey, congratulations on your new movie Gold. We'll talk about it more in a bit. But I saw a clip. You were accepting an award for Gold, and there was a really funny audience reaction. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
So you get up there, you get the prize.
Yeah. And as I like to open up, usually I start off with all right of some sort, or all right, of three sort. First three words ever said on film, and I don't think about it, but I think this night I just said, all right. So, and everyone goes, ah!
So you can't say one all right. You've got to do three.
If it starts with the one, I've got to add the other two, yeah.
The audience demands it.
Is it like Beetlejuice? It appears if you say the third.
Something nice happens, yeah. All right, all right, all right.
Have you met the Queen?
Yes, I do.
You've met...
I was in Hong Kong. I remember, and long time ago, my English is so bad in that time. I remember when Queen, raise your hand, otherwise you're standing here, blah, 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 blah. And Your Royal Highness?
Yes,
Yeah,
Your Royal
okay.
Highness, yeah.
And then I have to remember, Your Royal Highness, Your Royal Highness. Then it's, when we're playing around, oh, Queen's coming, Queen's coming. Then everybody, then, what should I say? Then I see the Queen, stop, so quick. You know, dun. I said, oh, okay. Then when she come, you're right. Then I just immediately bow.
Too low.
She's still standing there. The people into the Jackie Chan, oh. She keep talking to me. My head is empty. I don't know what she's talking about. You know, honestly, I just go away. Leave me alone. Really. Of course, I'm so happy just standing here more than like a 3 minute, 5 minutes. But I just, go away, please. Don't talk to me anymore. I don't know how to answer back.
I'm sure you all saw the footage it was in the papers and things online of the accident.
Yes.
And I think we all kind of thought, well, how did you break an ankle doing that? Because it looked like you should have broken your jaw or something like that.
I know, everyone said that was the stunt. I mean, I'm going to run across and hit the side of the wall and then pull myself over. That wasn't the mistake.
So you were always meant to not land on the roof?
Always.
OK. So what you've done is you brought us some footage. I think this is so cool to see this from the different angles.
This is what I
can't watch this.
I haven't watched it yet. Actually, I have to say, most of it's fine. There's one clip, but I will warn you, it's not for the squeamish.
So you see, I'm wearing 2 wires. They're basically just safety wires because I go at a full tilt and I'm sprinting as hard as I can and I hit the side of the wall. And that's the stunt. I hit the side of the wall and then I'm chasing after Henry, actually. And I hit all his fault. I blame him. I hit the side of the wall and then I climb up on the wall and I'm supposed to run past Kevin.
OK, so we've got... this is the shot from behind you. So this is... You see the speed and the momentum of the run. And it's in London. There we go.
So it's keeping me up.
OK, so here he goes. Look at that. Whoa, and whoa! Now, it's good noise, everybody. but you get my point that you think, how did you break a leg? So let's look at it from the side. This is it from the side.
Oh, no.
No, this isn't the bad one. This isn't the bad one, Rebecca. So this is from the side. Here we go.
We shot it with 3 cameras.
Oh, my
OK,
gosh.
here he goes, and boom! Now we've got a camera which focuses on the foot. Now, if you are squeamish, don't watch this.
Simon still hasn't seen it. They keep trying to show it to me, and I'm like, no!
I mean, a bone doesn't pop out or anything, but it is an odd angle for anyone's foot to be at.
Nobody's foot should ever have to do this.
Yeah,
ever.
here we go.
Oh, my gosh.
So he jumps, that speed, that momentum. Here we go.
Look at...
And now watch that. Watch this. But here is why Tom Cruise gets paid the big bucks, okay? Because this is it from the front angle, okay? So you've just seen what's happened to his foot. Now watch this.
I knew I broke it instantly.
So you're down. Now anyone else would go, well, that's over. No. Up he gets, and he's running. What's the thing about your daughter wanting to make you cry?
Oh, we were talking about what I do for a living, and I was explaining how I try to make I just make believe, like she does when she plays, and she's like, can you make yourself laugh? And I said, yeah. She goes, can you make yourself cry? And I said, yeah. And she goes, do it. Honestly, you got to give me a story. So we made up a story, and I've done it before for people about sriracha. I don't want to go back into this, Graham, okay?
No.
No, okay.
What is
Because the
sriracha?
sriracha plant is, they're shutting it down because the fumes kind of go into the community. And, yeah. But I've done this. This is redundant now. It's really weird.
That was awesome. I
Everyone's
was
like
believing what you're talking
completely
about.
weirded out. They're like,
Wow,
I don't
it's
trust
amazing.
her at all.
Yeah. But you got painted or something like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's, it's
so
almost
she
kind of
made
creepy.
me. It is,
It's
right?
amazing.
You should be an actress.
I know.
Yeah, it's really good.
You can do that.
Why don't you, Chris or Dowd, you can make yourself cry as well.
Yeah, do it. Cry. Cue now. Go.
There's this sriracha plant.
What about it? What's going on?
People, I think, have always gone to extremes to meet ladies. Because Samuel L. Jackson, when you was you in college?
Yeah.
You did something quite extreme to meet ladies.
Well, it wasn't. I became a cheerleader.
Now, see, that's...
What?
Yeah. Now, see, that seems quite an out there thing to do, to meet a woman.
Well, it wasn't necessarily just to meet a woman. It was so I could travel to all the places that the team went to meet women.
Ah. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
I was going to all these other schools, and hey.
But did you have pom-poms and stuff?
I had a megaphone.
I bet you did.
The girls had pom-poms, but I went to an all-male school. Across the street was an all-woman school, Spelman. So we got our cheerleader, our female cheerleaders from there. So I was the only guy who volunteered to be a cheerleader that year. So I talked my roommate into doing it, and he was like, wow, this is awesome. We get to pick all the girls. So we picked them, and we got to travel to all these other schools to meet women, which was totally dope.
Oh, my God. Great plan.
You're such a player.
But did you have to then have to do cheerleading? Did you have to do the chants and
We
stuff?
did some cheers, but basically we would go, I mean, my roommate and I would go, hey, gang, hey, gang. And then the girls would do the cheer, and they'd do some flips, and we'd like... we weren't picking them up or holding them up or any of that shit, you know.
You were just at the side going, hey, gang.
Yeah, that was basically it, you know. And every now and then we do, you know, some cheers like, you know, Edward, he's our man. If he can't do it, fuck it.
A scene in Holy Smoke where I play a young girl who her family believes she needs to be deprogrammed because she spent some time in India and they're concerned that she's fallen in love with a guru and she's lost her mind, and actually she hasn't at all. And Harvey Keitel plays a sort of a cult deprogramming expert. And my character tries to convince him that it's working, it's all working. And so she takes all of her clothes off and walks towards him in the desert saying, look, it's worked, I'm free. And she's just pissing and pissing. And I thought, OK, how am I really going to do that then? Am I going to actually have to do a wee on camera? And Jane Campion, the director, said to me, well, it would be nice, you know, if you could try, darling. I'm thinking, no, I don't want to do that. That sounds really horrible. And so there was a wee rig. God, why do I tell these stories? Happening to me again. So there was a wee rig which was attached to the back of my hair by a little piece of kind of fishing wire, and it was a bag of saline drip fluid that they sort of dyed a little bit green. And then I had to kind of get this
green.
Tube.
No, yellow. Did I say green?
Yeah.
Said green. There's something about this film we don't know.
I didn't mean green.
What
Yellow.
colour would my character's urine be?
Green. I had to get this little pipe and wedge it in, you know, a specific spot.
Is that someone's job, or do you have to do that?
No, I insisted that would be my own job. Someone did offer. But I said, no, it's fine. I think I've got this. So I had to wedge this tube right in the coochie. And then at a certain point, they'd quickly cut, and the makeup artist would run in and release this fluid, and then it would just gush. But the problem is, when you're a girl, it doesn't go in a stream down the middle. It goes all down the leg and no paper. So this was not a good shot. So the number of times I do this flipping thing just to get the wee to hit the floor. I'm like, I'm not a guy.
That's
but
why.
there you go.
But every year, I think, you know, you think about what you're going to put in the stocking fillers. Every year, and I never do it, I think, I've got to get some shiwi.
Someone gave me a shiwi. It's
so
brilliant.
Does it work?
It's brilliant. I used it at Glastonbury.
No.
I used my shiwi at Glastonbury last year.
Adrian doesn't know what a shiwi is.
It's a cup.
Yeah, you put your
It's a cup
on your...
with a little tube.
Yeah, with a thing. Okay.
And then, so it means that you can stand up and
have a little wee.
And you can direct the flow.
It's absolutely brilliant, I tell you.
I have an image in my head now.
Yeah.
You can never unsee it.
A photograph of Ian as Coriolanus Lanus. Here we are.
Look at that.
Come
on. My lord. Wolverine, eat your heart out.
Having said that, you do look great there, Ian, but check out Patrick Stewart. There you go. Yeah.
Well, you know.
You know?
I have what you've got to look forward to. But I'll tell you something you've been hearing about this amazing body. It is absolutely amazing. And a privilege to be so close. But, you know, Magneto, the character I used to play in this tired old franchise, was also pretty muscular, wasn't he? And
he was.
There you can see. But the trick is that I am wearing underneath my costume a suit which is sculpted to look as if I've put all the effort as he has into it.
You knew that? Huh? Did you know that?
They said you've got to work out. McKellen's working out, you've got to work out.
I just put on the suit, and I'll tell you what, I've still got it at home. I didn't wear it on occasion. Why have you two got drinks and I don't?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, would you like a drink? We've got red wine if you want.
Red wine.
Red wine. Oh, look at that. Psychic.
What?
Water and red wine.
Thank you.
Wow. Let's just shout out drinks and see if they show up.
Any nibbles?
Oh, we're doing all that.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers. Lovely to see you. Oh, look, people.
Well, and what's all this about you being circumcised?
Come on, you share the dressing room.
I know.
You know.
So, you worked together on Broadway. You did 2 plays together on Broadway at the same...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You know, there are not many plays where there are 2 wonderful parts for actors of the same age. So, you can go through your life never working with the people you admire and the people who you have an awful lot in common with. Shakespeare's not bad to that extent. Mm-hmm. But there are a few plays, and one of them is Waiting for Godot. There are 2 wonderful parts for people of the same age. And another one is No Man's Land by Harold Pinter, and we've done them both. And we've just finished doing No Man's Land in London. Though don't despair, if you missed it, you can catch it on NT Live. They record a performance.
Oh, the cinema, being into
show it in
cinemas.
cinemas. And
I have just had an idea.
What?
This is awesome. For some time now, I have been teasing Hugh, but getting more and more serious about a theatre job we might do together. Oh. I have been saying to this man for a long time, he should play Stephen Sondheim's Sweeney Todd. It is as if the role might have been written for him. Oh. And I add a rider that if he plays Sweeney Todd, I will, for a limited run, play the judge, which is a 2-scene role, but with 2 numbers, including a duet between the 2 of them. Who should play Mrs. Lovett?
That is a good idea. Presumably you are familiar with Miriam's potty mouth because... are you? Because you were in Harry Potter, but did you actually work together?
Yeah.
Yes, we
absolutely.
did.
But I don't remember. I've been told there was a swear jar involved on set, but I can't remember that. I don't even remember you swearing a lot in front of...
I was probably careful when it was you, but when, you know, with the other kids, I didn't bother.
He's the lead.
But I was just talking backstage, if that's what you call that funny little grubby area. And apparently it's 20 years since Harry Potter came out.
Since we started filming the first one.
And your balls have dropped since then, I can tell you that.
It's a relief to us all.
I hope so. Yeah, because they're just wee kids then.
We get it, yes.
It's just,
But it's interesting because Professor Sprouse, which, you know, you were in the second film and the last film.
Yeah, I should have been in all of them.
Yes.
And that was a grave oversight, and I'm holding you responsible.
I told them.
But anyway, it was wonderful to be in the 2 that I was in, and I'm very proud of it.
But you do get recognised as Professor Sprouse.
I do. I mean, I think I've changed since then, but people do recognise me. And funnily enough, in Lithuania, Lithuania?
Have you come just to see Professor Sprout?
I don't think so.
Are the films called Professor Sprout and the Death Reality?
No, but I was mobbed in Lithuania. Maybe because I was Jewish, I don't know. I'm the only one left.
Sorry.
Stop cheering now. But Matt Damon, he's been here and he talked about the night you won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting, and he has a kind of particular take on it. And
I don't look very happy in that particular photograph. I assure you I was.
He looks
Matt
thrilled.
looks drunk.
Looking back, do you kind of rejoice that you had that amazing success so early on, or does a bit of you kind of not regret it, but sort of, I don't know, think it was a bit of a curse?
I mean, I don't think it was a curse, but I couldn't really appreciate it. I mean, it was very hallucinatory. It was like, I don't know if you've ever been in a traffic accident, but there's that moment where you go, oh my God, I'm gonna crash into this wall over here. You know, everything sort of slows down and you're spinning around. That was how it kind of felt. They said our names and I sort of looked at Matt and I was like, should we get up? And we get up and there's, you know, people are clapping, you know, and there was Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau presented it to us, and, you know, Billy Crystal was hosting and he was going, Matt and Ben, and, you know, I was 24 years old. I mean, I barely knew anything at all. And it was, you know, I mean, I think it was in some ways trouble to get that much attention that young, and I really didn't have any perspective on it at all. It was a wonderful honor, but it was, you know, I certainly appreciated later on much more what it meant.
And was there a kind of thing where people thought you were that character?
Yeah, I think people thought that Matt was the math genius and then I was his sort of dim-witted friend he dragged along from home. You know what I mean? They were like, you give him an Oscar too. Right, guy. And that stayed with me for a while. You're all right too. You can go ahead. You know.
So being back at the Oscar podium for Argo, that must have been such a kind of, what a satisfying
hopefully
moment.
no one thought I was a dim-witted friend anyway. I don't know. Yeah, no, it was much more satisfying. And I had been through so much stuff, so many ups and downs and humiliations and highs and lows. And you know, at that point I had 3 children and I had built a whole life, and it felt like something that was much more, I appreciated it, and I really felt like I also knew what it meant and what it didn't mean, you know what I mean, and that what was important about it and what wasn't, and it was a really nice night, and I got to share it with people that I really loved, and it was probably a much more healthy experience.